Well, hello and welcome to Up North Live Unscripted. I'm Allie Baxter. We're kicking things off tonight with some weather. And Joe, I gotta say, after the weekend we had with all like the high temperatures, some record-breaking high temperatures for the area, all the sunshine, we've kind of done a complete 180 with a lot of us seeing rain, clouds. Haven't seen a lot of clouds or like overcast in a minute.
No, it's been a while, so today's kind of a little unusual from what, from that. Wasn't it warm though over the weekend? I mean, it was. I walked outside Saturday and it felt like midsummer. I really did.
It did. It was also kind of good swimming weather. I took one last swim. I feel like that was like a good 85 degrees. I feel like you can deal with the water temperature.
Yeah, and it was warm and yeah, that was. Interesting. I'm going to show you a little later just how warm. Some spots are tied their warmest October day ever. But yeah, changes coming in. We have a cold front passing through tonight, Allie. It's going to bring in some cooler weather, but it's also kind of where we should be this time of the year. We'll look at that, and we still could use more rain. I'll look at that too a little later.
All right, Joe, thanks for that preview. Starting off with our top story tonight out of Roscommon County. Firefighters are working to contain a wildfire near Houghton Lake area. The fire was reported Sunday afternoon east of Old U.S. Highway 27 near the Clare Roscommon County line. We're told the fire is estimated to be 85 acres in size in a marshy area of mixed pines. The Department of Natural Resources says the combination of dry fuels and gusty winds has challenged firefighters. So now we're going to go ahead and bring in Jeff Vassar. He is with the Department of Natural Resources. Jeff, what is the latest? What is an update that we have on the containment of this wildfire?
So as of 5 o'clock, we just got an update. It's at 101 acres. It's 85% contained, but the forward progression has stopped. So it's we're keeping it in the box right there, and we're hoping for the rain tonight to kind of help us out with that.
Right, because there have been some challenging conditions right now. We mentioned it's pretty windy out there. What are some other challenges? Is this kind of a difficult area to fight a fire in?
Yes, it's burning in a hardwoods pine mix, and then it's in a lowland marshy area. So that's giving us the hardest problem trying to get across, put a containment line in. So we brought a track unit from the UP to help us out with that, and they made pretty good progress today across there. So that's why we put it at 85% contained.
And do you know about how many crews are out there helping?
We got about 20 people out there, and it's just strictly DNR. We do have the Roscommon Township Fire Department helping out. They helped us yesterday, and they're helping us today with water. So I'd say about 20 people.
And is this in a fairly remote area of Roscommon County?
It's just right at the Roscommon Clare County line right there at the south, and I wouldn't say it's remote. There's 2 tracks going into it, but there's nothing out in front of it. It's strictly state land. It's just strictly all woods and lowland marsh.
Okay, so at this time, are there no evacuation orders in place for people who may have properties around there?
No.
All right, well, hey, that's at least a positive from this. Jeff, is there anything else about this fire that you want people to be aware of?
Yeah, so it's really dry. So, we're not giving out burn permits. So please don't burn in. We need a lot of rain to help us out with this drought we're in. And, like I said, if it could rain tonight and rain for about 2 or 3 days, it would help us out tremendously.
And that's why you said you're crossing your fingers, hoping for that rain coming across tonight to help those firefighting efforts.
Yeah.
Any safety tips before we let you go, Jeff?
We know that, hunting season started. So, there's a lot of people out in the woods right now. So if they're camping and they, have a campfire, just before you leave, make sure it's out, drown it with water, mix it up, make sure it's out. And, that will help us out tremendously. But we still want you to enjoy the resources out there, but that would help us out.
All right, well, Jeff, thank you for the update and for joining us on Unscripted tonight. Well, moving along to our next story. Tonight, Traverse City commissioners will discuss a new proposed ethics ordinance. An ad hoc committee has been working on a draft of the policy for a few months now. According to the policy, the purpose of the ethics ordinance is to place service to the public above oneself. The ordinance would apply to the city's public servants, including city elected officials, appointed officials, employees, and committee members. The draft outlines what would be considered an ethical violation and possible penalties for violating it. And this story goes along with our question of the day. Should all public servants in your area be required to follow a code of ethics? And if you'd like to vote, you can scan the QR code on your screen now. And it looks like we'll go ahead and share some early results with you. Right now, we have 202 votes. And right now, 95% of people believe that it should be required for them to follow a code of ethics. 5% said it should not be required. So again, you can scan the QR code when it comes back up on your screen for those of you who are joining us online. And we'll read some more comments as we get towards the end of our show. But moving along now, a Kalkaska County organization needs your help fighting food insecurity. Kalkaska Area Interfaith Resources is hosting its Camp Out for Care food drive starting today until Saturday. The community can donate at drop-off sites across the area. CARE is requesting a wide variety of non-perishable food and hygiene items, including things like peanut butter, canned meats, oatmeal, canned fruits and vegetables, pasta, soups, toilet paper, and toothpaste. Now, the organization has seen an increase in the need with rising cost.
We've had a 25% increase over the last 2 years, which means we're serving 250 people more than what we did 2 years ago, and that's every month.
Drop off food donations from 7:30 in the morning to 6 at night at CARE, Sarah Automotive, Family Fare, and Northland Foods. Monetary donations are also accepted in person or online. Well, Michigan ranks third in the country for Christmas tree production. While growers are busy this time of year making sure they can meet the holiday demand, they're also fighting two diseases that could impact those trees. Meteorologist Ethan Foreman explains how weather plays a part in their concern.
There are two particular diseases that have really impacted Christmas tree farms in the past, and the hope is to get these diseases under control.
What we're concerned about is that they continue to spread over time and maybe introduce to new fields. So that's really a large problem if these root rots get into an area. Right now, we don't have a great way to mitigate them.
The two diseases are the Phytophthora and the Armillaria root rot. According to a study from Michigan State University, of all tree farmers that have had disease issues, 56% of them are impacted by the Phytophthora and around 20% are affected by the Armillaria root rot disease.
Phytophthora and Armillaria root rot are two different root rot pathogens that can kill Christmas trees, essentially. They can attack all conifers. They usually attack from the roots, and our trees will look healthy and doing well, then suddenly they'll start going downhill.
One of the leading causes of the spread of these diseases is certain weather conditions.
We do know that weather conditions do affect these root rots. So for Phytophthora is an example. We do know that wet weather and soils that hold a lot of water tend to promote Phytophthora spreading in the field. We tend to see Armillaria root rot being somewhat sporadic, but more of a problem in northern Michigan, the northern lower peninsula.
Help is on the way, with recent funds sent to MSU and other areas in the country to fight back against the diseases.
Dr. Pradama Devakota at Michigan State University, the disease pathologist, is going to be able to have some money and some funds available to begin doing some research with these root rots. So we're very excited to be able to begin to help growers, start to minimize and control these potentially very destructive diseases.
Dr. Lindberg says they are very excited to get this funding to help address these issues farmers have been seeing. In northern Michigan, Ethan Foreman, UpNorthLive News.
Thank you, Ethan, for that report. The Michigan Christmas Tree Association has received more than $89,000, with more than $2 million distributed statewide and more than $56 million nationwide. This is through the USDA 2025 Specialty Crop Block Grant Program. A horse rescue in Interlochen is hosting its annual community event this Saturday. Horse North Rescue is hosting its fall festival and tax sale. The event will feature a chance to meet all 10 horses. There will be kids games, crafts, cider and donuts, and some educational opportunities too. You can shop the tax sale with donated horse supplies, and all those proceeds from the event will go directly back to the horses.
Horses, it benefits them to have people come out and visit because some of them have been through some pretty tough stuff, and being around people and building that trust with people again is important to their future.
If you're interested in going, the fall festival will be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday. Well, one family in the greater Detroit area has taken their love for the Lions to a whole new spooky level. This is awesome. They transformed their yard into a haunted Ford field. Carly Petra shows us how the display was built with heart.
From a sketch on a piece of paper to a full-blown field on the front lawn.
Jokingly, it's so expensive to go to a game now, so we thought we'd just bring the game to the neighborhood.
Chad Latta says he created this Lions-themed Halloween display with one goal in mind, to make others smile.
All the negativity going on, I was like, let's just do something fun, and let's put it all together with like a Lions thing with mixture with Halloween, and that's kind of what we came up with.
And so far, everyone who passes by the home on Bon Bray seems to love it.
Go Lions!
Debbie tells me she takes her grandson for a walk in the St. Clair Shores neighborhood every day, and to see the display is a welcome surprise.
It makes me so happy.
Marie Tassin, who lives across the street, says she looks forward to the Lotta family's displays every year.
It brings a lot of people out. We get to meet people coming by and with their dogs and their children. It's beautiful.
With the details down to the casket table for the commentators, tombstones marked with every team the Lions have beaten so far this year, and even a figure of head coach Dan Campbell with one of his dogs.
Yeah,
So-
my little Yorkie.
Yeah, so we tried to, people that know it, they're gonna know the little details that we put in, and that's what we were trying to go for.
Chad says the hours-long work he puts into the displays are worth it, especially when he sees how happy they make his 14-year-old son who has autism.
My son just started getting into sports, and I never thought that moment would happen. He's just an emotional kid, but he loves this stuff, so that's why I just keep doing it.
And usually, Lotta says, the displays come down about a week after Halloween's over. But if the Lions keep winning, he just might keep this one up, even hoping to add more tombstones to the makeshift graveyard.
Thanks to Carly for that report. And of course, he does have another tombstone to add now after Sunday, with the Lions taking the win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, before we head into our first commercial break, we're going to go over the results of our question of the day again and read a few comments for you. Again, that question is, should all public servants in your area be required to follow a code of ethics? 94% say yes, it should be required. 6% so far say that they shouldn't be required. And so we're going to go ahead and read some of these comments from those of you who are chiming in. Chuck wants to know who is defining the ethics. In this case, we are asking the question in lieu of the Traverse City Commissioners talking about it tonight. So it is a few of them who have decided the certain ethical policy. Diane saying, yes, we should all follow a code of ethics in our employment, either self-imposed or employer-imposed. Sheila saying, yes, of course. Shannon also saying yes. And then we've got Mary saying, yes, the Realtor Association has a code of ethics. We self-police. And then Bill saying, keeping a sound code of ethics at least portrays a good faith civil service. A code of ethics alongside of a code of conduct also benefits the civil servant as well. Karen saying, yes, everyone should. All right, so if you would also like to vote and leave us a comment, let us know what you think. Should all public servants in your area be required to follow a code of ethics, or should they not be required to follow a code of ethics? For those of you joining us online, that QR code will be on your screen in just a moment. We're going to head into our first commercial break now, but when we come back, we're going to go ahead and check in with meteorologist Joe Charlevoix.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Welcome back to Up North Live Unscripted. Let's turn things over now to meteorologist Joe Charlevoix. And Joe, we got like one last, let's call it one last burst of those summer temperatures, summer weather. And now we've gotten quite a bit cooler since the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, and the weekend was not just warm, it was like warm as it ever gets.
It was hot.
Yeah, it was. And you went swimming.
Yeah, I went swimming. It's like one last time, you know. I feel like it's like one last summer swim. This is the last one.
Yeah, probably. Things are going to cool down now a little bit this week. Let's take a look in Traverse City where it's 57. This is just outside of our studios here. That is M72, the highway there at the bottom. 57 right now. 48 hours ago it was 89, just 2 days ago. The wind now out of the north. It's cloudy and we do have some showers. And if you didn't see this over the weekend, these are the temperatures on Saturday. Sunday was warm too, but it was 89 in Traverse City. The old record was 88, so we did break that. The 89 also tied the warmest ever October day, which was set back in 1922. Alpena also reached 89. The old record was 86. Alpena had to get to 90 for the warmest ever October day, but they broke the daily record, which was 86. Then Gaylord, 85, the old record there, 82, set back 20 years ago, back in 2005. Well, you can kind of tell where our front is across northern Michigan. It's just kind of a line here where we've got that warm air to the south. Look at Detroit right now, 82. Well, you jump up to Traverse City, it's 57. Marquette, 52 right now, and there is our front. I penciled it in here, kind of extending from near Chicago right across central lower Michigan, back up into Canada. Behind that is that cooler weather. We've also had some rain. That's the second facet to this. We need rain. It's been very, very dry. A few storms have bubbled up right down here. Sort of there, you can see that south of Alpena. Alpena had a quick burst of rain earlier, right over Rose City, and then down toward the Houghton Lake area, right in there. We talked about that fire at the top of the newscast that they're battling. Allie had that interview with the DNR. That's the area right along south of Houghton Lake there, along the Roscommon Clare County line. They've had some rain nearby, and they should get more there coming up tonight. Elsewhere, you can see some showers to the north tonight as well. Let's kind of run through, as we take a look here, I'm trying to run through these graphics here. The computer's being a little slow. There's rain now. Watch what happens on lower Michigan. This rain actually fills back in tonight. So right there, Gaylord, Grayling, back toward Cadillac, up toward Alpena. There's that chance for some rain. Some of that may linger south of M55 through the morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're going to get back right to dry weather. It's not going to be as warm as last week, but the dry weather makes a return. There's tomorrow evening, pretty clear. I do think there's the chance for some frost coming up here. There's Wednesday, beautiful day, then Wednesday afternoon. And then there's Thursday, dry weather, lots of sunshine. So really the weather, even though we have a little rain tonight and cooler weather's coming in, it does look pretty quiet overall. And I mentioned that chance for frost. These are average overnight lows. So this isn't the highs, these are the lows at night. But look at Tuesday and Wednesday. So tomorrow night and Wednesday night especially, there is that chance for some frost. And a pretty quiet week coming up. Maybe a stray shower Friday, another little front comes in, and then we warm back up a little bit, Allie, back into the 60s and 70s next weekend.
Yeah, I feel like this is this weird time of year where you need the AC on during the day and then you need your heat on at night. It's because you've indecisive.
That's how it is, especially like you said, this time of the year.
All right, well, thank you, Joe, for that weather report. Well, coming up after the break, we're going to check in with Sports Director Harrison Beebe. You're watching Up North Live Unscripted. Welcome back to Up North Live Unscripted. Let's go ahead and bring in Sports Director Harrison Beebe now, who's going to be recapping some of this week's top prep plays.
That's right, Allie. We have our Prep Play of the Week voting up now on our website, UpNorthLive.com. And so far, it appears the Kalkaska community is putting in heavy votes for Hunter Wilkinson. You can't read all the names there because our graphic unfortunately cuts it off. But Hunter is the senior quarterback for the Blazers, and he had a big touchdown late against Glen Lake. That's leading the way at 66% of the vote. But you know, we've still got 4 hours to go, and at last check, there weren't a ton of votes in, so these numbers can still be fluctuated pretty well here in the next 3+ hours until 10:30 at the cutoff time, and we'll have the winner tonight during sports at 11. Of course, the other finalists, Mancelona's Jaden Lanning, Grayling's Austin Schwartz, Traverse City's St. Francis' Braxton Lazinski, and Boyne City's Owen Hewitt, who has won this event already this year. Hewitt winning, I believe, week 2 or week 3 for Prep Play of the Week voting, so maybe Boyne City will rally behind him. We'll find out. We'll have that winner tonight during sports at 11. But Allie, did you know this is a very big week for the Motor City, for Detroit sports? Were you aware of all the chaotic schedules happening?
There's gotta be. I feel like it's always a big week, Harrison, but you're saying it's an even bigger week than usual.
I do think so, because that's just a taste of what we're looking at. Well, sorry, it's not even a picture. The Pistons start preseason tonight. It is preseason, but still, all 4 Detroit sports teams playing this week. We might have a day coming up where all 4 of them are going to play on the same day. We'll have to wait and see if the Tigers keep advancing in the postseason. They're currently 1-1 with the Seattle Mariners in the best-of-5 ALDS, heading back to Detroit. So they'll be at Comerica tomorrow and Wednesday. Tomorrow's game starting at 4 o'clock, so that'll be a big one. Those 2 games guaranteed, and if it goes to Game 5 in Seattle on Friday, that'll be the Tigers' week this week. The Red Wings open up the regular season on Thursday night at Little Caesars Arena. They're taking on the Montreal Canadiens up there north of the border, 2 of the original 6 teams from the NHL going at it on opening night. And Sunday Night Football on our sister station, NBC TV 7 and 4. That'll be Lions and Kansas City Chiefs. So that'll be another fun one as well. So a loaded week for Detroit sports fans in multiple sports, and plenty to keep you preoccupied here as we enter the cooler parts of the fall season.
Real quick, Harrison, which game are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, as exciting as that Lions-Chiefs rematch is going to be from Sunday Night Football, or the opening night a few years ago, this Tigers-Mariners series, the 2 good games so far. Excited to see how the next 2 go.
All right, thank you, Harrison. We're going to go ahead and head into our last commercial break here, and it's your last chance to also vote in our question of the day. And if you're joining online, that QR code will be on your screen in just a moment.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Welcome back to Up North Live Unscripted. Let's take one last look at that question of the day. Should public servants in your area be required to follow a code of ethics? 94% say yes, they should. 6% say no, they shouldn't. And we've got a couple comments here on our website. Someone saying yes, they should. They are supposed to serve the public interest, not their own. Another person saying yes, all public officials should do this anyways. Well, thanks for joining us for Up North Live Unscripted. We'll see you back here tonight at 11.